Oh, hey everybody!
Welcome to our pre-Super Bowl episode
We are the King Smith Podcast.
with your host.
Oh, it's gonna take a second. Nathan Smith and
I'm Zach.
Zach King. Everybody, woo!
I know, so exciting.
Audience cheering noises.
Clapping, applause.
It's the best podcast. We never just wing it.
Ever at all.
We've never done that.
No, not at all.
This is the most. Actually, I can say this. This is the most spiritual sports podcast.
Yeah,
It is. It is. I don't. Who else is doing this?
I don't know.
Thank you.
Kind of wanted to do this anyway, but we've already discussed that. Anyway,
Exactly.
so
what are we talking about today, Zachary?
we're talking about a couple of different things. First of all, this is really right now is the only time we can really talk about the Super Bowl
This is true, actually.
before it happens. You know. So I have a few key points I want to go over. I'm sure Nathan has a few things he wants to talk about.
Yes, but
Uh,
first,
But before that, something happened over the weekend.
Mark Cuban cried.
I assume he cries every time taxes.
He probably cried.
But
He's probably been nonstop crying for the last 2 days, dude.
but anyway, this is actually I think this is one of the few times we've done something for the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, we've mentioned it, but this is one of the few times we're actually talking about something that happened in there. So,
Yeah.
if you guys haven't seen it yet, over the weekend, the LA Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks
Mm-hmm.
made a trade.
A stupid trade.
Well,
Depends on.
from a certain point of view.
Are you on the receiving end of the trade, or are you on
So-
the giving end of the trade? I
so
think that
here's the
already
thing.
tells us the
Here's what.
opinion there.
Here's the basics of it. The Lakers sent
Are stupid.
Anthony
No,
Davis.
wait, no.
No. They're
They're
smart.
smart. Sorry,
They're
it's the
smart
other
ones. The Lakers sent Anthony Davis, a couple other players, and a first-round draft pick
Yep.
to the Dallas Mavericks for a couple no-name players and a guy by the name of Luka Doncic. I think that's how he's spelled.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
He pronounces that
Yeah.
name. That's how I've seen it pronounced on other shows.
That's actually impressive. I can't even say it right. I just say
Yeah.
Luca.
Yeah, I just say Luka
I'm
too,
actually impressed.
because I don't want to be offensive with my lack
I'll
of
just say
language.
Luca because I don't want to actually.
Anyway. But yes, as Nathan implied, the Dallas Mavericks GM is challenging Jerry Jones for the
dude,
worst. I'm the worst GM in Dallas.
I think
position.
it's a competition.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Like I feel like there's money under the table here.
Just like, just like
Who
Jerry's like-
could be
Jerry-
the worst?
Jerry's just like, watch this. I'm gonna say we're all in, and then sign old Zeke. And then
Okay, but Zeke Elliott wasn't bad at that point.
he
was
wasn't
past his
bad.
prime, but he wasn't bad.
He wasn't bad, but he's not what they needed.
True.
I'm sorry to those Zeke fans out there. Zeke isn't as what he used to be, so
Is
he's
he
not.
still playing?
Uh,
No, he retired.
no,
He retired. I think.
I think I don't know. Anyway, but excuse me. But Nathan, from the Lakers' point of view, this is a great trade.
He was signed to a practice squad. Sorry.
No, yeah. This is a great trade. Like, I have nothing wrong with the Lakers.
Yeah.
Trading Anthony, a superstar for a superstar, giving him a couple other players for whatever else, and a first round pick. I do not have any problem with that. That's a good
Yeah.
trade.
Oh yeah. If you're the Lakers right now, you're like, oh well.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's take a look at who's all on the Lakers. 1 second.
While you're doing that, I'm gonna keep talking. But one of the angles I saw is, listen, LeBron James is on the Lakers, and I think he's 39 now.
Okay. So here's the players right now. The ones that I know. LeBron James, who honestly he's been mid. I'm just gonna say it.
He's also a rookie, so give Bronny James some time
yeah.
to improve and
Jared
Uh,
Vanderbilt.
yeah.
Dorian Smith, Luca, Jackson Hayes, Austin Reeves, Shake Milton. There's a couple other bigger ones here that we might know.
Yeah.
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 Okay, there's a few more.
There's a few more,
But they
this
they have a stacked team
right.
right
Well,
now.
here-
Absolutely.
here's the thing.
stacked.
LeBron, if I remember right, LeBron is 39, and by most,
Yeah.
LeBron is 39. Is that old in basketball compared to the NFL? No, but it's still plenty old to be playing. To still be playing.
That's getting up there.
It's getting up there.
He's 40.
Yeah, it's getting up there to still be playing competitively, and he's doing good.
He's probably got another
So-
year max.
But the other end of this is the angle. Luka is 25, and we'll tackle the Maverick side here in a bit, in a couple minutes. But having LeBron at the tail end of his career,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting a 25-year-old near
Yeah.
the beginning of his prime, or in the middle of it, you're set for the next 10 years.
Oh yeah, getting Luca,
Getting Luka, you're set.
dude.
Uh,
He's first off. I just want to say, I adore this man's style.
oh yeah, he's
Look at him.
he's
He's
dope.
a sweater wearer.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Like he wears. Hold on, sweater. My fellow sweater wearer. Even though you are a million times better at basketball than I will ever be, even in my dreams.
Right.
I appreciate you representing.
The sweater community.
Yes.
Anyway,
It does my soul good to know
Uh,
there's old people left that are 25 years old.
you're right. Now, to the Mavericks. Yeah, that sweater does actually look awesome though. To the Mavericks side of this, I told Nathan this before we started recording here. I'm gonna set up our nerd herd real quick.
Oh yeah.
In my head, I've pegged this. I've kind of hammered this out over the past, really since I heard the news that Luka got traded.
Mm-hmm.
So I've hammered this out for over the past few days. But there are five main types of trade in sports.
Smart, kind of dumb, stupid, ultra mega stupid. Did I get him?
That's not the types. That's just the range of
The range.
the range of okay, how smart is this? But basically it's trade demand.
Yeah.
The other side of that is the owner gets involved.
Yep.
Like the owner says, I don't want to deal with that player. And those are like two sides of the same coin. The number three is the team makes an honorable decision, says to a player, "Hey, we're not going to get you what you want. Go be with this team."
Yep.
Number four, and this is where I kind of struggle. Number four is the draft haul.
Yeah.
We are trading this superstar player for a haul of draft picks
Mhm.
and other. We might get a player or two. That's the Tyreek Hill trade
Yeah.
for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
And number five, which is this one for the Mavericks, is the "What in the world are you doing?" trade.
Yeah. That is the
It's the
somebody was drinking when they made the
it's
phone call.
"What in the world are you doing?" trade. So in terms of those five types, this is a standard category, type 5 of "What in the world are you doing? Why
Mhm.
in the world did you do that?"
Yeah. Literally.
Now, the Mavs said, "Oh, the Mavs." I'm gonna be honest with the Mavs. They came out with a couple bad excuses, like, "Oh, his conditioning," and his health.
That's not true.
Anthony Davis and
That's not true. Don't give me that crap, Zach.
It's not me. It's the Mavs, dude.
I know.
It's not me. I'm calling it out too. It's like this trade makes no sense at all
Yeah, there's no sense to
from the
this trade.
Mavericks' point of view.
Absolutely none.
Now, if they had said, okay, we are getting like all of your draft picks for the next 5 years,
It'd be different.
it'd be different. It'd be a different type of trade. But it's no.
We're not. That's
This
not
is-
happening.
This is the Chiefs trading Patrick Mahomes level bad, man. Like this,
Ooh, it is. It is though.
it is. It's
Yeah.
it's a this trade shouldn't happen type of trade.
Well, and that trade will never happen,
No,
thankfully.
no.
But
We will sign Patrick Mahomes for his entire career.
yeah, that's true. Patrick Mahomes will be. He will start a Chief and die a Chief.
Right.
He will not stop being a Chief.
Right.
Now, speaking of Chiefs,
Yep. Perfect segue. Hey.
that was pretty smooth, wasn't it?
Smooth as you ever
Obviously,
think.
we're wearing red. I got a little bit more maroon going on, but he's got the Chiefs red on.
Uh-huh.
And so you know what our favorites for the Super Bowl are going to be. But
That's me.
I've been doing some Googling because I'm the researcher here. USA Today's got Eagles up 1.5 points, but DraftKings has the Chiefs up 1.5 points. So there is no favorite.
There's no favorite. It's a
It
pick 'em.
could go either way.
Right.
And like, it's not like, when Jared Goff Rams were playing Tom Brady, like you knew
Right.
they were gonna lose, right?
Right.
Wait, was that Super Bowl? Or was that who did Jared Goff Rams play?
The Patriots.
Was it the Patriots? Yeah.
It was the Patriots.
Yeah, it's not like that where
No.
it's gonna be the most boring Super Bowl of all time.
And you could probably say, okay, Patriots gonna probably win this.
Yeah. It's not like the Dallas Cowboys going against anybody and losing because that's all they do. No,
30 years.
You can't tell it.
You can't tell it.
It's this is Saquon Barkley and one of the better offenses. I would stay away from calling it the best. I think their defense is much
Right.
better. I think their defense holds the line and they
Right.
score enough points with the few superstar players they have.
Right.
And I don't say that negatively. I say that objectively. And with the Chiefs have for the last 2 years have been a death by 1,000 cuts team. And that was
Right.
I honestly think that was something that Tom Brady started himself.
Right.
The death by 1,000 cuts, coming back from the bottom of the third quarter to win against the Falcons, right?
Right.
But the Chiefs can't do that this time around.
No.
Well, they've got to keep the Chiefs have got to keep high defensive pressure on. If they do that, Jalen Hurts goes back to a mid-tier quarterback.
Right.
And honestly, when he's got time, he's got a great arm, he's got great aim. He's got awesome accuracy and precision. But when he has pressure, he turns into Sam Darnold.
Jet Sam Darnold, not Viking Sam
Yeah.
Darnold.
Well, even Vikings Sam Darnold, when he
Well,
had
yeah.
pressure on him in the first round of the playoffs, what happened? He turned into Jet Sam Darnold real quick.
Right.
So when he doesn't have time, when he's pressured, he freaks.
Right.
He doesn't make good decisions. That's what the
Yeah.
Chiefs need to do.
And that goes for, that helps with containing Saquon too.
Yes.
Because, Saquon can rip a 60 plus yard
Yeah.
touchdown. But the danger of doing that is the danger of, hey, handing it to Saquon, he goes 70 yards, gets a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you just scored really quick. Sorry.
Yep.
Now you're going to give it back to the Chiefs,
Yep.
who can drain the clock. Hey,
Yeah.
we're gonna.
No
I'm
one-
gonna run. We're
I'm
gonna
run out there.
we're gonna run two
Mhm.
plays. Okay, it's 3rd and 8. Pass to Kelsey, who's somehow open
Or blocking.
or blocking.
His blocking game this year has been
Right.
it's been top notch.
So
That's actually why they're in the Super Bowl. They would have lost the last game.
right.
He made that last second block for Mahomes to get into the end zone.
Uh-huh.
So
Anyway, but yeah, this is as close to a pick your winner game as there is.
Honest to God, truth. I think the Chiefs are gonna do it.
Right.
Um,
I think it's coming down to who's. This is gonna be a cliche sports thing. It's coming down to who's more hungry for it.
I think the Chiefs are more hungry for the three-peat than
You're right.
the Eagles are for winning a Super Bowl.
The
It would be
I
different
agree.
if Jason Kelsey was playing. I think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think the Chiefs are way more hungry to. This isn't like first time Super Bowl history, like a bunch of media people are saying,
Right.
because obviously the Packers have done it twice. So this isn't like first
Thank
time.
you. Thank you.
This isn't like first time championship history.
Hold on. Thank you for saying that.
You're welcome.
The Packers did three-peat twice before anybody else did.
Right. Yes, they did. But this
I'll
is
give you the Super Bowl because that's what the name is, but we still
Yeah.
have the championship.
this is the first time when a team has, as far as the Super Bowl goes, this is the first time the team has realistically been able to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
This is
Plus, you got Taylor Swift cheering for you, dude. I'm
Right.
just saying.
in terms of title defense, whether it's the championship or the Super Bowl or whatever the sports the championship is for your sport.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best title defenses a team has had in history.
Yes.
No.
They went what? 15-2
Yeah.
on the season.
15-2. Mahomes went 15-1 in games he started.
Yep.
And I don't count the Week 18 Broncos game. I know it, like officially it counts because it's still a
But
game.
you
I don't
guys
like-
were already in. Why risk the players?
We were in.
You know, you
we
put-
had the one seed. Where
You put your third string in there. Just
put
let
your
them,
second,
let
third
them play out.
string in there. Let them show something. See if a team wants them next year.
Yeah, give them some stats for the sheet.
Yeah,
Granted, the stats they had were
not
pitiful, but
yeah, but I think that also lends to Andy Reid's coaching of, hey, try if you want to put some stats up, but don't
Mhm.
like go out looking for an injury or try.
yeah.
Don't be like going out there injuring, seeking stats and oh crap, I'm Carson Wentz and I busted my knee again, and
Oh man, he hasn't been the same.
he hasn't been the same since.
He hasn't been the same at all. I feel terrible
Um,
for him. I think he's got.
So
I think he's being protective of
Yeah.
himself. If you want me to be honest.
yep. So, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What would this Super Bowl win mean? It's a two for,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like this. It's basically the same question for two different players. One, what would it mean for Mahomes, and two, what would it mean for Hurts?
Here's what it would mean. One, remember Jalen Hurts already has a ring, because he was with the
Was
Ye-
he? No, he wasn't.
he was with the Eagles in 18.
No, he wasn't. They drafted him the year afterwards.
I'm pretty sure he was with them that year. Here, while he's looking it up, I'm going to continue. So for Jalen, what this means, if he loses, that means he's gone to 2 Super Bowls and doesn't have a ring. Yeah, that's going to sting. That's going to hurt. For Patrick, it means I've just three-peated. I've just done something nobody else can do. Honestly, I see him letting off the gas. I think he starts letting off the gas, competing hard and everything, obviously. Maybe he gets another Super Bowl or two. But after this year,
Pick 2, round 2, pick 53, 2020.
oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that. But here's the deal. So, if Pat wins, I think he takes off the gas. The Chiefs are, I hate to say it, the Chiefs are going to be in a little bit of a rebuild after this year because you're losing Travis Kelce, and
Let's see on that.
you're going to have some players moving throughout the off season,
Right.
and that has always that's always hurt the Chiefs. Players moving in the off season. Granted, there's a spark there behind everything, even if you didn't replace not Kareem, the other one,
Pacheco,
not Pacheco, receiver.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, even if you didn't replace Tyreek Hill directly, which this year you did,
Right.
but for kind of a year gap in there, you guys were still able to make it happen. So that's the difference. I love the Eagles organization. I think they're a great organization. Same with the Chiefs. I just don't see the Eagles spark.
Right.
I see them as a they're a Baltimore Ravens type team,
Right.
where they're dominant. They're gonna get W's. They're gonna retire wealthy.
Right.
But when it comes to, going from A tier to S tier, they just ain't got the stuff. I think Nick Sirianni, and I think this is going to be, I think you agree with me on this, Nick Sirianni's too immature. I don't think
Yep.
their head coach is going to be able to hold his own.
Yep.
And he's probably going to let the ego get to his head like last year with Kyle Shanahan.
Right.
So Andy Reid knows how to not be egotistical. I'm sorry, I've been
Right.
talking for a minute. You go ahead.
Now let me explain where my mind is at. You're right. Like as far as if Mahomes gets this, if Mahomes wins the three-peat,
Yeah.
he'll be like, okay, I've done something not even Tom Brady can do. Can attest that, can say that he did.
I was about to bring that up, but I didn't know where you sat with that.
Yeah, he's gonna say, okay, I've done something not even Tom can do. Now, as far as letting off the gas, I don't know, but I will say I think he'll let off the gas enough to be like, okay, I've done something. I've put my name in history. It's not as important for me to win
Yeah.
as many as Tom, but I still think his mindset is I'm chasing a guy with 7 rings. I want to match or exceed him. So,
If they win, do you think they go for 4?
if they win, so for the Chiefs as an organization, I think if they win,
Yeah.
it goes from, hey, let's get the three-peat to, hey, let's see how many in a row we can stack.
I mean, maybe. I see him
it's-
more taking I'm going to just keep getting dubs
Right.
and moving and going,
Well,
and I want to be better than Tom Brady. I think that's what he wants.
that's
this
what he
point.
wants. So I'm just saying for the Chiefs as an organization,
But remember,
like all the players to say, hey, let's
Tom-
see how much can we go. How
Tom
can
had
we-"
a drive spell,
right.
if you remember. He had a drive spell for a number of years, and then all of a sudden he comes back and wins, 3 or 4 more Super Bowls?
Right.
So,
I don't think Patrick will have the same kind of dry spell.
I don't know.
I don't think he will.
know.
I don't think he will.
It depends on...
Tom had the dry spell for 10 years. I don't think Patrick's going to take
Honestly,
10 years to go.
I think this offseason is going to be make it or break it for the Chiefs.
Right.
I think that's what the conversation is. Even if people haven't admitted it, I think that's where the conversation has gone now.
Uh-huh.
Is what are the Chiefs going to do in this offseason? Because I'm just going to say it. I think Travis is out, and I think with what Jason Kelsey said on his show the other day,
Uh-huh.
I think that's pretty well in the cards right now.
Oh, yeah.
But with Kels out, okay, you got Noah Gray, but you still got big shoes to fill.
Right.
They got to get somebody to replace that position. What are they going to do in the draft? And I haven't looked at any draft numbers yet.
Me
What are you
either.
going to do in the draft, and what are you going to do in the off-season trades?
Right.
Are you going to keep Kareem Hunt and also keep Isaiah Pacheco?
Uh-huh.
That's a good question. They're both number 1 star type running backs.
Right. Yeah,
You
oh,
trade them
yeah.
away, you get some picks.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that we don't have the Chiefs don't have questions to answer this offseason.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, come week 1 of the 2025 season, if the Chiefs aren't the favorites, no matter what they do, I'm
Right.
sorry. We've proven you wrong. Since we traded Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
we have been to, and we have been to 3 Super Bowls and won 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's a crazy stat. We have
Yeah.
been to 3 Super Bowls, won 2,
The only one you lost was against the GOAT himself.
and that's back when we had Hill.
Yeah.
Since we have traded Tyreek Hill,
Yeah.
we have been to all 3 Super Bowls those following 3 years,
That's a very valid point.
and we have won 2 of them, and it looks like we are going to win a third.
I hope you guys win the third.
It looks like that way. Again, I'm not going to guarantee anything. Nathan brought it up towards the beginning. This is as far as like gambling goes, neither of us are gamblers. But as far as gambling goes, this is a toss up.
It is a toss up.
This is a toss up game because
We don't know what's. You never know what's going to happen.
right,
But this game, hold on to your shorts.
right.
My guess is this is going to be a much lower scoring game.
And a lot of people want to do it.
It's either going to be a low score game and it's going to be really tight, or it's going to be a blowout. Here's a good question. We've done this before. If it's a blowout, who do you think win?
People are going to hate me, but I'm going to say Kansas City.
I was about to say KC. If it's
I'm
low
sorry.
points, what do you think?
Again, Kansas City. I'm sorry.
I can't. I think if it's low score, I think Eagles get it.
I'm sorry. Well,
Either by a field goal or a touchdown.
look at our entire season up to this point. We have had low scoring game after low scoring game after low scoring game.
Right,
Who's
but
won all
this
this game?
This is Saquon Barkley who's going to hurdle backwards your entire defensive line.
Yeah, until he runs into Nick Bolton and gets.
Or George Karlaftis. But
Yep. Don't. I'm just saying, if you're gonna be like, oh, it's low scoring, the Chiefs are gonna lose. We blocked a field goal this season.
So
we
did
bl-
my team.
We blocked a field goal.
So hold on. So did the Packers.
Yeah, but you lost in round 1, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know. That was. But we deserved to lose the last 3 games. We did not play right.
Right.
We were
But-
hurt though too.
But I'm sorry. The evidence is no matter if it's high scoring or if it's low scoring, the Chiefs are gonna win. That's the evidence. I'm just saying. And you can't sit there and look, oh, the Eagles are ahead by 3 with 25 seconds left. Mahomes has won a game with 13 seconds left. Don't.
I ain't got you to do that for a Super Bowl.
Yep. But
Jet chip was.
yeah, but let me go to the Eagles for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If Jalen wins this game, he
becomes a superstar.
He becomes a star. I'm not gonna say superstar yet because as you mentioned earlier, he can get into that.
He gets in the oh crap mode.
He can get into that oh crap mode and turns into. He goes from Josh Allen level to Sam Darnold level, and
Man, I feel bad for Josh Allen. Can we talk about that?
in a minute.
Okay.
In a minute.
I'll cry for that boy.
As far as coaching goes, and I said this, I think I said this early on in the season because we talked about the 49ers firing the defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said it again. As far as coaching goes, if the Eagles lose, going into next season, Nick Sirianni should be on the hot seat.
Sirianni should be on the hot
He
seat.
should be on the hot seat. And I said this about Shanahan, and I'll tell you about Sirianni. It's the type of hot seat where the GM and owner have him in and say, "Hey, you got one season, win the Super Bowl, or you're gone."
Yeah.
That's the type of hot seat. This isn't if we have a record high in wins, we get to the Super Bowl and we lose again.
You know what's kind of funny?
What?
I think the Chiefs are going to win. I'm pretty confident now because of connection I just put together.
Uh-huh.
Who are the Eagles playing?
The Chiefs.
What's another name for that? Think of all the people that have gone to the Chiefs from the Eagles. You're looking at Eagles 1.0
Right.
that got them that Super Bowl ring in 2018
Right.
with Nick Foles.
Right.
I'm just saying. And Doug Peterson was one of Reed's boys, and Doug Peterson, I have much respect for. He's a great coach.
He's a good coach. I think it'll be.
I think he's going to need some time to develop.
Yeah, I think it'll be a. Which side note, I wouldn't be surprised if Doug Peterson, if Andy Reid's like, hey Doug, like let's say Matt Nagy, the Chiefs offensive coordinator,
oh, Doug's coming back.
gets hired.
You're telling me Andy
Andy-
Reid, he wouldn't answer for Andy?
Yeah, I think Andy would give Doug a call and say, hey, you want to be offensive coordinator with Pat Mahomes?
Dude, heck yeah.
You're
You're securing yourself a
Right.
10-year contract, essentially,
Right.
with a ring probably somewhere in there.
you're right.
But
So, yeah,
the Eagles are playing in a mirror,
you're right.
and it's not a pretty one.
Oh no,
They are looking
Excuse me.
back at themselves because Andy Reid owns that organization,
right.
and he probably, some of his influence is probably still there.
Right. Well, he drafted Jason. That's what a lot of people
Yeah.
don't understand. Andy has been in the league long enough that he drafted Jason, got fired, and 2 years later drafted Travis.
And called Jason to see if Travis was going
Right.
to be any good.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So there are still effects from Andy in the Eagles organization, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm sorry. This is another thing that Andy is an offensive mastermind at taking players and putting them, getting them open and moving them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a mastermind. I'm sorry. The Eagles' defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
It's great, but the Chiefs' offense has dismantled great defenses
Mhm.
before. And
Yep.
here's another smooth segue.
Mhm.
As
Do it.
as in the Bills game, we have a great defensive coordinator, in
Oh.
Steve Spagnuolo.
Oh, that was good.
So I'm going to reference the play, then we can zoom out and
Yeah.
talk about
yeah,
that,
yeah,
like Josh Allen and that, because I want to talk about the
Oh, yeah.
refs commentary too. But that 4th and 5 play at the end of the game,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Steve Spagnuolo sends. It's a corner blitz,
Mm-hmm.
but he does something with it that makes it look not like a corner blitz.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
And if you go back and look at the interviews, I think both Josh Allen and Dawson Kincaid,
Yes.
both
They were shocked.
both of them were like, "Oh, he sent a pressure at us we didn't even ever see before."
Mm-hmm.
So you've got an offensive mastermind in Andy Reid, and you've got the defensive version of Andy Reid, just like, "Hey, I'm going to send a pressure at
You
you
know-
you've never seen before."
You know, how long do you think the Chiefs have before they turn into the Lions and they just lose their entire coaching staff? Because the Lions lost everyone. Have you seen it? They
Okay.
lost everybody except Dan Campbell.
Right.
Like,
Well,
they are in
okay.
a rebuild. Whether or not they
Here's the
realize
thing.
that they're in a rebuild.
here's the thing. Andy and Patrick. Andy's staying. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Andy's the one that'll stay. I don't think Andy's gonna go anywhere else.
Well, he's too old.
Patrick's here
For life.
for life.
He will never leave.
So
if he leaves, that will be the biggest thing since Joe Montana.
yeah.
There was no that was like
Well,
Jesus leaving the tomb.
If he was,
Like,
yep,
where'd he go?
right.
Like, he just disappeared. See, I told you we are the most spiritual sports
Right.
podcast.
But it's so weird. So
Yeah.
as far as it goes, as far as the offense goes, Andy's staying, Patrick's staying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
as long as in my opinion, as long as we have those two, we'll be okay.
And then he, watching like his senior years, he goes to the Jets or something, and then doesn't do anything.
Well, that's because the Jets are the Jets.
Well, I mean, the most Jets thing to ever happen was Aaron Rodgers getting hurt on the 4th play.
Right.
That was the most Jets thing I've ever seen.
That's the most Jets thing I've ever seen. When you're synonymous with your quarterback fumbling because he ran into the rear end of his offensive lineman.
They've been cursed ever since then, dude.
Well, they've been
Cursed for decades.
they've been cursed since they won the Super Bowl. Honestly,
When did they win that Super Bowl?
Super Bowl III. The running theory, y'all.
Even my mic was so shocked that the head came off.
The running theory, y'all. Okay, let me explain this real quick. The running theory, y'all, is that Super Bowl III, Joe Namath, the quarterback for the Jets at the time,
Yeah,
comes out in like the media cycle
yeah.
and says, "I'm guaranteeing a Jets win," and obviously the Jets go on to win the Super Bowl. But the theory behind that is Joe Namath made a deal with some kind of spiritual being. Say, hey, let me win this Super Bowl, and you can do whatever with the Jets for the rest of time.
That's probably true, though.
I wouldn't be surprised. But so offensively, Pat, I think offensively the Chiefs will be fine because they'll have Pat and Andy for a while. And if they get someone like Doug Peterson in to fill the offensive coordinator vacancy, they'll be all right.
Dude, I'm just looking through your guys' roster.
I can see that.
I think I've heard of almost everyone on here. Let's just do it. Pat Mahomes, Kareem Hunt, Xavier Worthy, Trent McDuffie, Mike Pennell, Juju Smith, Leo Chenal, Nick Bolton, Rashee Rice, Anthony Firkser, Montreal Washington. I think that's the first one I don't know. Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Jody Fortson, Mecole Hardman. He's kind of been like a low-key goat.
Right.
Like, he's just kind of been in the background.
He's been one of those players that, every once in a while I'll make a play.
Right, but he makes the right plays.
Right.
He's a right time.
Right.
He's an old crap man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, for whatever reason, out of the pure blue random, he'll have like 2 or 3 plays a year that like saves the season.
Right.
Like last year, that first touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Right.
That was Mecole Hardman.
Yep. Anyway, now.
Golly, Steve Nelson, Trav Kels, Thuney, Jones,
No.
Watson, Ramingo.
Now.
Ramingo, sorry.
Remigio, but who cares?
I don't know how to say it.
Stop talking. Now, before we get deeper into anything else, I want to address the commentary that's been going on for the past few weeks.
Yeah. Which commentary is that?
I'm talking to you, audience. Look into the depths of my soul.
Tell him.
No,
Let 'em have it.
absolutely not. This does not happen.
Tell him.
The NFL is not rigging games for the Chiefs. The refs are not paid by the Chiefs. Calm yourselves down and convince your team to actually win the game.
If the NFL was rigged, do you think Tom Brady would have lost to Eli Manning twice?
No.
Even Pat said that. He was like, I would never have lost to Eli Manning.
Oh. Sorry, we got a rug there.
Yeah, we got a rug. And
that likes to
although
slide.
that rug has already, like, I bought it like a week ago, and it's already about to die.
Right. Anyway, so no. But I will say this. Every single game, I think it's like 270 some odd games total in the year.
Yep.
And that's like just taking all the games from all the teams that play. So it's like 270 games or something like that over the season. I will say that there's about once or twice a game where there is like a call, 1 or 2 calls that are just like there's 1 or 2 calls that I'm just like, oh, no, you can't call that.
Right.
Then there are about 4 or 5 more calls that I'm just like, yeah, I wouldn't have called that.
But
I wouldn't have called that penalty. Like it's weak sauce. They call that penalty, but that's not saying there isn't a penalty on that play.
yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
there's there's legitimate to say there are about 5 or 6 calls that they're at the very least you're just like, I wouldn't have called that, but
No, here's the thing though. I've said this. I said this to some of my family and other friends, but the Chiefs are playing death by 1,000 cuts. So if you take that zoomed out mentality and start to zoom in on some of the details of that, one of those is the refs, but not in the way that everybody thinks. It's the refs in that they use them. They're able to get the flops. They're able to exaggerate just enough for it to not be considered a flop, because it's legitimate penalties, like you said, that are happening that are kind of meh, but the reaction is a little bit bigger, a little bit of acting in it, and that's what draws out the flags. And so if you can get just a couple
of those
passer interferences, or just a couple holdings, or a couple shoves out of bounds, you know, a couple pass interference, couple rushing the passer.
Roughing the passer, yeah.
Or roughing the passer.
And
if you can get just one or two of them,
right.
that might be the icing on the cake that you need.
Right.
Other teams don't play like that. Some people say that's playing dirty. I say that's playing exactly what the rule book says.
No. And on that, yeah, I agree with that. I'm just like, well, people are saying, oh, it's playing dirty. We shouldn't have that in the game. That should be a penalty if a player obviously flops and like, okay.
Big whoop.
Yes, Patrick Mahomes has flopped in a couple plays, and it's been obvious. You know what happened? The ref didn't throw the flag.
Yep. Hey, question.
I'm sorry.
If y'all want to get all up in arms about flops and whatnot, why don't you start doing them?
Oh, wait, Josh Allen already does.
It almost worked, too.
It almost worked. Now, here's where I don't...
I feel bad for Josh Allen, man.
Here's why I don't feel bad for him. Wild Card Weekend, there were... Let me just preface this.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Weekend, I remember this.
There was one play. Yes, it was an obvious penalty. Yes, the flag should have been thrown. It wasn't.
Yep.
However, I want y'all to hear this. However, that does not entitle the ref to go over to the sideline, put his hand on a quarterback's shoulder. That's not Patrick Mahomes, by the way. A hand on the quarterback's shoulder. Say, hey, make the motion for like the I'm sorry motion. You know, the I'm sorry, my bad, don't get angry at me.
I'm sorry.
Motion. We'll get him next time.
That's actually unprofessional.
That is unprofessional. Now
that's terrible.
Now, after the media storm and everything that goes on in the locker rooms after the game, if the ref wants to go on there in private, sit next to Josh and say, "Hey,
I got no problem with that.
I'm sorry."
Or even if they come out later and say, "Hey,
even
look."
If the NFL came out later and said, "Hey, look, there was a call that was missed."
And the NFL did that with the Packers after that first after they lost that game. When there was that helmet to helmet.
Right.
They did it.
They did it with the Lions too, I think. If there was that helmet to helmet. But yeah, it's one thing for the NFL to come out and say, "Hey, this ref missed the call." It's another thing for a ref to go to the sideline in the middle of the game and say, "Hey, I'm sorry."
You know what I want to see?
If that happens with the Chiefs, the internet would like shut down for 2 years.
You know what? I think I've said this before. You know what I want to see in the NFL sometime?
What?
I want to see the ability to challenge or flag. To challenge a flag.
We did.
One time.
We did.
One challenge one challenge per flag per game. You only get one. If it's successful.
So it's a So, okay. Remember 2019 they did that with pass interference, because remember that. So the 2018 National Conference Championship game, NFC game, the Saints against Rams. That was when and there was blatant, and Saints fans, you'll appreciate this. Yes. That was blatant pass interference.
Absolutely.
The flag should have been thrown. You guys were legitimately robbed.
Yeah.
And if the Saints had got it, I think they would have been beaten the Patriots.
Yeah. I think so.
I think so. You guys were robbed of not just a Super Bowl appearance, but a Super Bowl win.
Yeah. Sorry, our Alexa. I can't even say it.
Yeah, it spoke up. I was making
spoke.
sure it was.
I was trying not to make sure to activate other people's.
I want to make sure that it didn't start playing music that is copyrighted.
We've done that before.
We sang it before, but we're bad enough that we can. Anyway.
This is true.
Yeah. So, yeah, you remember that 2019 season? They allowed us to challenge. They allowed the challenge for pass interference.
Mm-hmm.
They did a terrible job at it.
Oh yeah.
That being
Horrible.
said,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I think that
That the ability to once per game
yeah, either challenge a missed call or challenge a bad call,
challenge a bad call.
or both.
Yes. But
you only get one.
you only get one. No matter if you win or lose, you get one.
Yeah.
And if you, what happens if you lose though? Like besides timeout.
Yeah.
Just okay. So it's a normal challenge, but
Here's a. You lose a timeout, and the other team gains a yard.
right,
Or maybe they gain like 5 yards or something like that.
right. Oh, they would. So you're saying they would gain additional yardage on top of the penalty yardage?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You like that idea? Or is that too risky?
That I think that would be too risky. Because it's the other team didn't do anything.
Losing the timeout is already big.
Losing a timeout, I think losing a timeout is big enough to say, hey, you use these sparingly, but also you.
How about you replay the down?
That could work. Oh. Okay.
Or you gain a down back.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that even. I wouldn't.
Okay. So
No.
you would just stay with timeout then?
I would stay with a timeout. Not saying there couldn't be other possibilities of.
We should just have throw the flags at the ref's day or something like that.
Right, just like
Every bad call.
Just like at the end of the year, have all the refs, come to the Super Bowl arena, the week after the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And just be like, okay, this is part of the fan experience for buying a Super Bowl ticket. You just get to sit there and throw flags at the ref.
That would be funny.
The ref talks, flag, roughing the passer.
Dude, I love watching those flag on the play, breathing in Patrick Mahomes' personal space, automatic first down, touchdown, Chiefs win the Super Bowl. That's the end of the game.
As long as you realize that those videos aren't realistic at all.
Oh, yeah, I understand that. There's some people that are like, oh, this is exactly what's happening. It's like,
No,
are you kidding me right now? Come on.
No.
You're just mad that you can't beat the Chiefs.
On the other hand, I will say, I told you this before, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast. The majority, I sometimes I'll say 99%, but I'm not going to go that far.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the majority of roughing the passer and roughing the kicker calls, not good.
Mm-hmm.
Not good, not at all. Because sometimes when they throw the flag, roughing the passer, sometimes all it is,
right.
Oh, you breathed in the general direction of Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to throw a flag. Other times, hey, you made contact with, you went high on Patrick Mahomes, you made contact with his helmet. The ref's going to throw that flag 100 out of 100 times.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I think I think we're talked out.
I'm kind of out of
I'm kind of out of talking points. So I will say this: just keep in mind that probably the next two podcasts, well, this one and the next podcast. So this podcast and the podcast after this one, gonna be Super Bowl related. This is our Super Bowl prediction. This is our Super Bowl predictions. Hopefully we have made it clear who we're thinking is going
Chiefs
to win.
are gonna win. If we come back next week and the Chiefs ain't won, I'm wearing an Eagles hat just to make him mad.
and I might punch him in the face.
I'm sure.
Anyway,
That was the weirdest siren I ever heard.
I know
You guys probably didn't hear that, but that was a weird siren.
that was.
It sounds like a dying horse. Like
It sounds like a vacuum. It doesn't sound like a dying horse. It sounds like a dying vacuum cleaner.
yeah, like the belt broke.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so let's make it official. Nathan, who are you picking to win the game?
Chiefs. Chiefs. Zach, who are you picking?
Chiefs.
Good man.
Yeah.
We're terrible at this outro.
Yeah.
It's going to show right here across the screen here in about 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Red Kingdom. Ah, dang it.
Yeah, man, you even extended it for me. Man, what's going on here? Why ain't this going?
I don't know. This happens every episode.
Man, I don't know.
We're so,
I thought that I set this to like a minute. Is it looping?
you guys,
Oh!
like,
Thank you.
comment, subscribe, Patreon, all that stuff.
Give us money. We need it. We're broke.
Always.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.